Hello YouTube, Elite Legionarii here, bringing you a 2 vs 2 for Rome Total War. This is the follow-up to the last 2 vs 2 battle that me and Monlith did against Ohjk89 and Robandme. This time me and Monlith go with the Eastern factions. I'm Parthia, he goes with Armenia, and these guys will go with Western factions, the Spqr Romans, and Robandme has the Group C states. So I'll start with my forces. I'm using a fairly typical Parthian build, one I use the most. To be honest, it's kind of hard to experiment with Parthia. I find a lot of their units only certain units are really all that useful unless you've got very specific rules, but this is of course within the CWB bounds. So I have 5 units of gold cataphracts in the main striking force. I have 6 gold archers, so they have an important role to play in this fight, so I have to make sure they'll be alright. I have a gold camel cataphract, and these guys are just to make sure any enemy cavalry is very quickly defeated so that we don't lose too many cavalry. And I have 2 units of gold horse archers, which is pretty self-explanatory what they're to do. So Monlith's force is a wee bit more varied amongst the Armenian builds, mostly the same with a couple of differences. He has 5 units of, I believe it's silver gold and gold heavy spearmen. These are obviously no match for either of their infantry, but they will make a nice stalling force if Monlith can get the chance in there. He's got a unit of Eastern infantry for his peeler screen. He's got 4 units of gold cataphracts, and there is an archer unit in there, although I don't think he has any upgrades on it. And this is where his force is a little bit different, which is cool. He's got a unit of gold Arab light cav. This can be, as a light cav unit, be very useful, and as I've said in other videos, light cav can be very helpful. And then he's got 2 units of these Bedouin archers, which are like horse or camel archers, and I think they're gold tack. Yeah. To be honest, I'm not too sure why he went with Bedouin camels or archers. The camels as horse is like a mounted archer unit, in my opinion, are not as good as just regular horse archers. It's not because their missile skills are worse or anything, it's because they're on camels. Yes, camels do scare other horses, but camels are slow. Horse archers are meant to be a skirmishing, fast-paced, pick a few units off, run away, kind of, hit and run kind of unit. In my opinion, camels are not suited to that because they're much slower than horses. So that is why I was a bit surprised he went with them. They're kind of fun to use for a challenge, but to be honest, I just don't think they're as good. So anyway, OHJK's force consists of 6 units of silver gold urban cohorts, which for some reason in this video have the pointy foot effect. I don't know why, because my graphics settings are like high as they can go for Rome, so I don't know what that's about. He has 2 units of archer auxilia. I'm not sure what upgrades they have. I think they had about gold attack. He's got 2 units of regular auxilia, which are gold, and 4 units of Praetorian cavalry with 2 upgrades apiece. Robandme's forces are, I believe they were 5 units of gold attack Spartans, and 3 units of non-upgraded armoured hoplites, and 6 units of silver Cretan archers. So he's got an extreme missile advantage, so we'll have to be careful that we don't get outdone by them. So immediately, as you can see, me and Monlith begin skirmishing, and you may notice in both of these battles me and Monlith are on the offence. In both our battles we played aggressively and begun the assaults, which is my preferred style. I think it is for Monlith as well. I think he likes to go on the attack as well. Pretty sure he's similar mindset to me, but I definitely prefer to go on the attack if possible. But I don't disvalue the use of defensive playing. It is useful, but I am definitely more an aggressive attacking player. It's more my style. But it doesn't mean it's a better style, I'm just saying it's the way I like to play. I think it works best for me that way. So over here, as you can see, these Praetorian cav more or less were going to catch these dudes, these Bedouin archers, and I'm pulling out my horse archers. As you can see, my horse archers are a lot quicker. Over here, I do make a bit of a blunder because I sort of stopped clicking because I was sort of focusing elsewhere. So some of my guys probably will get caught temporarily because I was a bit slow there on the clicking, but nonetheless I get away. But as you can see, these Bedouin camels, like I said, very slow in comparison to horses, will not get away from these Praetorian cav. He brings his light cav into support. Other Praetorians are going to be able to do a lot of damage, but the usefulness of this is that Monlith has been able to hold these Praetorian cav up enough that his cataphracts are going to catch. Well, they probably could have drawn away, and looking at this now, they probably could have got away, but for some reason OHJK went in to fight like this, and he should not have done this. His men have got much less upgrades than these cataphracts, and he's wasting them, letting them getting defeated by these cataphracts like this. So he's allowed them to go to waste by doing this, and this wasn't a good idea. So he loses some very useful units to Monlith's cataphracts, and Monlith doesn't take really any casualties at all with his cataphracts. So while he loses his horse archers or his camel archers and his light cav, the loss of like 3 units of Praetorian cavalry is much more severe, considering I still have my horse archers to add support when I need to. I'm going to move my archers out here so we can, they asked Monlith to support me with his cataphracts here, so that we can sort of pick away any of these units out here. And if you want to, guys, the skirmishing does go on for a little while, so if you want to skip ahead, feel free to do so, because it will go on for a little while, but it is a pretty important part of the fight, so if you don't mind watching it, that's fine, but if you want to go ahead, that's also fine. So, I might just triple speed here, guys. So I'm going to bring my horse archers out onto the flank. Now the idea here is he's bringing 2 of his Cretians over and there's assumed archer auxiliary. Now some of you may not know, but they're really the high quality archer units in this game, like Cretians, Pharaohs, Guards, what else is there? Forester Warbands, Chosen Archer Warband, Archer Auxiliary, you know, those good quality archer units. They do have better range, but they also have, usually in most cases, have less arrows. So the idea here is to go into Cantab Circle and to just get them to expend missile fire on my horse archers here, so they'll chew up their arrows, because I have weaker arrows, but I'm going to have more with my standard foot archers. So if we can get them to waste arrows, that'll give us a better chance. So the idea was to get them to throw, to use up as many arrows as possible, while my horse archers distract them. My horse archers will inflict good casualties on them at the same pace. So it probably would have been more useful had Monlith had his own just regular horse archers or whatever, as long as it was a horse archer unit, not a camel archer unit. So, but never mind, he was just experimenting, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it's just going to be us shooting up these Cretians and these archer auxiliary for a little while. So if you do get bored with that, that's fine, and feel free to skip ahead. Like in our last game, we sort of almost got that horseshoe formation again where we're trying to wrap around our opponents, but this time our centre isn't nearly as strong as it was last time. It's all about our cav, which we have to use really well. Because as you can see, we're going to have our arrows. We want to have my archers to have enough arrows left by the time we've dealt with these Cretians, because we are going to need them to stop these Spartans, to thin out their, shoot them in the back, to thin out their ranks and stuff, because our guys are not going to be able to defeat them. Our cataphracts are not going to be able to defeat them 1-for-1. We should be able to defeat the Urbans 1-for-1 now. The one advantage, in my opinion, that Spartans have over Urbans is their ability to combat cavalry. Urbans are susceptible to cataphracts in battle. That's really the only cavalry unit that I think they're susceptible to, or easily anyway. It doesn't mean the other cavalry units can't defeat Urbans, it's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying the only ones that really consistently pose a big threat to them are cataphracts. But other than that, that's it. Whereas with the Spartans, it's not a problem, because they just destroy cavalry. But other than that, I would still call the Urbans better infantry, and I've explained why in other videos, and I'll say it again. It's because they're cheaper, they're far more versatile, and campaign-wise, you can recruit them anywhere that has an urban barracks, as opposed to only the Spartans being in Sparta and Syracuse. So Urbans are definitely more useful, because their Pila can thin out units massively even before they engage, and I'm pretty sure their morale is even better than Spartans. So plus you can use them on walls. You can shift their lines really quickly. They're much more maneuverable. They're cheaper. There's so many reasons why they're better. 1-for-1, Spartans certainly can beat Urbans, but again, Urbans can also beat Spartans if you do it right. So overall, the usefulness of Urbans, in my opinion, is more than Spartans, which is why I always like. in the online sense, if you play against the Greek city-states in Rome is so much harder to beat than the Greek cities. That's mostly because of the cavalry, obviously, but like dealing with Spartans is not as hard as dealing with Urbans. That's my opinion. Others will disagree with me, and that's completely fine. You're welcome to have your opinion. I'm not saying you're not, but that's just my opinion on the matter. So anyway, same old thing we're doing. We're just trying to thin out numbers. As you can see, we are inflicting some nice casualties, and they are wasting a lot of arrows and inflicting very few casualties on me. And I'm bringing up my archers here, so if he does decide to come forward anymore with any more archers, they'll be in range to support, which is useful. So I might just triple speed a wee bit, guys, because this does go on for a little bit, same old stuff. But it's very useful to do this. If you can get players to waste time trying to kill horse archers in this fashion, it's useful. But at the same pace, they really have to do something about it. If you get them to, if you can somehow, get them to, if you have them light cav, for instance, a really good way to deal with the horse archers. People always discount light cav as not good, but it is actually a great way to make sure horse archers cannot be of use in a fight. I often sometimes use like cavalry auxiliary and militia cav just to chase them around the field, even if, unfortunately I do get caught here, but even if, say, like, if I have a militia jav cav and I'm chasing a horse archer around the field, even if that jav cav doesn't really do anything except chase the horse archer, it keeps the horse archer out of the fight. So that's really another great way of using, great way of dealing with missile cav units, is just get light cav or something like that and run it around the field and keep it away from the main fight. And usually you can get them for a really cheap cost because they're a light cav unit. So you should never discount light cav and call it crap. Here I want to explain what will happen to these auxiliary units. Auxiliary against cataphracts is pointless. It is hopeless, total trash when compared to dealing with cataphracts. As you can see, they've just been routed in about 10 seconds against those cataphracts. They're just hopeless against cataphracts. Now, if it's in the woods, it's a different story. If you get cataphracts caught in the woods and then use auxiliary, then they can beat them. Even better, use triarii, they're more useful in my opinion. But overall, cataphracts can just destroy auxiliary. That's the one thing about Rome that can be... having played Rome as much as I have, it's actually the best way to often exploit Rome is not infantry-wise, it's cavalry. Although their Praetorian cavalry are very good, if you use a Eastern faction with cataphracts, you can beat Rome pretty decisively if you do it right. It's their cavalry, their Praetorian cavalry are very good, and they make Rome much too strong in my opinion. But you can certainly defeat Rome in the cavalry department if you do it right. Infantry wise, Rome's pretty much supreme. The only thing that's a challenge is Greece. Everything else just falls before Rome. But again, using cavalry to take advantage of the fact that they don't have very good spears is a good way to deal with Rome as well. So Monlith does make a bit of a mistake soon where he leaves my archers unsupported. He'll move his cavalry, all his cavalry out here. He's going to start doing it now, and this one unit of Praetorian cavalry is going to really cause a big stir up for my archers in a moment, because Monlith's going to move his cavalry far too far away from support. So anyway, what's happening here? We're just reorganising our lines and continuing the skirmish. I think the skirmish is mostly finished, and we've done a pretty useful amount of work in it. As you can see, Robandme is moving forward here, just a bit here. So the battle's going to start very soon, and in a minute you'll see that these units here are going to get abandoned by Monlith's cataphracts here. I don't know why. He didn't tell me he was going to move them, and I really wish he did, because we have to preserve our archers if we're going to beat the Greek city-states player, because we have to be able to shoot the backs of those Spartans. So he's Monlith's preparing to move forward as well. Here we go. Here you see his cataphracts moving away, and I wish he'd let me know this because I was moving my cataphracts over here and I wasn't focused. And as you can see, OHJK in a very smart, quick moves immediately sees the problem of what's happened, and he's going to go straight after my archers. and I thought, well, there's not too many Praetorians left, I should be able to be okay there. I was wrong, and one unit goes, and I've got to quickly get these dudes out of here, and I was pretty frustrated that Monlith left me like that at the time. I was preparing to make a charge on the back of these urbans, but they're going to turn around and I don't want to get their peeler in the face. So I begin the missile duel with the the Cretans over there, and that fight is pretty even so far. He should have made use of his Cretans range. He should have pulled back so that I would have to keep pulling forward. So as you can see, he's routed 2 units of my archers here. I'm going to bring my general in here to try and catch this cataphract out. But I wish Monlith had let me know he was going to do something like that, so I could have got him out. But he does quickly redeem himself and manage to rout 2 units of urban cohort with some nice cataphract moves here, and I was extremely grateful for that. So again, the trade-off's pretty good. So that was a nice bit of work there by Monlith. So that's how you beat urbans. You just surround them with cataphracts, and you can pretty much rout them quickly, although I wouldn't be surprised if they come back. I was trying to pick up their routers, but I see that he's got units in support to make me not be able to do so. But as you can see, OHJK is making mistakes. Now he's getting himself spread out. So here comes Robandme forward to face these Monlith's forces here. Now Monlith makes a mistake here. In my opinion, he doesn't condense his line long enough. He stretches it out 1 for 1, and that will really be dangerous, because if he has more blocked formations, he'd last longer against those Spartans. But never mind. And I don't realise this unit's not really pinned, so I go in for a flank charge and thought, well, it's not really pinned. But anyway, I knocked out about 10 men there, so it was quite cool. And I'm trying to collect these Cretans so that I can save my archer's threat. And he's doing a good job of keeping my cataphracts out of this fight, and I'm trying to bring them around to support. But I want to get rid of these Cretans, and I see this unit here is pinned, and I'm going to come to the flank of it here, and we do a lot of damage to this particular unit. But he's doing a good job. I've got to go all the way around, and that's taking time, and because it's taking that much time, it's not really working. But I do see that these Cretans are here, and I'm going to try and take them out, because by taking them out, it means that our archers are going to have much less trouble. But I've got to keep moving here, and annoyingly, like a lot of units, they wouldn't pull out, and they keep running into the pikes. It was really frustrating. We do manage to rout this unit over here, pretty much anyway. And Monlith got pretty owned in that fight, but then again, that was to be expected. But while this has been happening, he's done a pretty nice job against OH over here, who's bringing his troops in to try and support. We're just trying to find encirclement opportunities here. As you can see, my camels are doing a nice job against his urban cohorts, and they're getting pretty owned as well. But I won't stay in that fight for too long. He gets a lot of numbers down in support, and I think he might actually rout that unit in a moment. So here I see some more urbans unsupported, so I'm going to charge them. And I'm going to quickly pull in and out of those fights. We're going to use sort of hammer and anvil strikes and try and get as many of these urbans snagged and then encircled as we can, so we can inflict plenty of damage. But they do a pretty nice job of holding us out, though. We had to watch the Spartans, though, because they're coming in to support. So I'm going to reorganise my archers in a moment. So he does rout my camels there, though, which is a bit of a frustration, but I have to watch out for these Spartans now. So we're going to try and pick them apart and encircle them, and Monlith's doing a really good job at that. He does a better job of it than me at the start of this fight. I do manage to sort myself out later, but a lot of my units wouldn't go where I wanted them to go for some reason. I was having a really big issue dealing with that, so that was unfortunate. But as you can see, these urbans are pulling away from the Spartans, and that's useful because if we pull them away from the Spartans, we can encircle them. As you can see over here, we're encircling this urban over here, and we do a pretty nice job of that. And over here, I'm a little disorganised. I'm so focused on trying to do what I'm doing over here, and of course, I'm still not as fast as I used to be at Rome. So a few of these urbans regroup, and now I see an opportunity to strike from these two over here. I'm going to ignore this group here, and I'm going to go for these two. So I'm going to come from this side, and I'm going to come from the flank over here, and that's where his general is, so hopefully I can kill him and rout his general. I'm going to rout one of them, and I do believe I rout his general as well. Well, this unit here, I can't remember, I wrapped another one, I'm sure I do. And here I see Monlith in support, so I'm willing to stay in it long enough, but I'm very cautious of the Spartan here, and I pull my own general back so I can hit the flank of the Spartan in the side, and we route 2 more, I'm pretty sure we route 2 more of these urbans as well. So it was pretty well worth it. As you can see, there's a lot of dead urbans in that pile. But it's a matter of being careful not to stay in this fight for too long. Unfortunately though, see my own men, I'm trying to withdraw them out, and 2 of them routed straight through these Spartans, and they turn around and try to go out through them again. So stupid annoying stuff like that happens, and I hate when that happens, because I'm not telling them to do that, and it's frustrating. So we lose more casualties than we otherwise would have liked to have. And I see Monlith here, and I go to support him, but immediately I noticed that he left, so I will be leaving as well. Currently I'm doing okay, and I'm trying to pull out. And he's using fire arrows, that's a good way to deal with the cataphracts. I'm reorganising my archers over here so I can start working on those Spartans' flanks. So cataphract use-wise, probably say that Monlith was a little sharper than I was in this fight. But we both did pretty well in the end, I think, with the cataphracts. Eventually I started to get my own cataphracts working better, because we did manage to get quite a few casualties with both cataphracts. So anyway, they're taking fire arrows. I want to move some out here, and of course now they're going to form the box, try and keep us out. And it is basically all they can do at this stage. But unfortunately for them, I made it my priority to keep my my archers safe as best as I could. Excuse me, guys. And by doing that, I can deal with these Spartans pretty accordingly. So he's going to do that, and I'm just going to triple speed here. Monlith's a couple of his infantry units have regrouped, which is useful for him. And now I've got my archers in here, and I'm going to start focusing on the Spartans here. Once we weaken the Spartans enough, we can deal with the Roman player pretty easily. Against I think, as I said earlier in the fight, cataphracts are probably one of the best ways of dealing with urbans. Against other infantry, they're pretty much supreme, but they have a weakness to strong cav charges and armor-piercing mace. And if you just encircle them and pull out and repeat, like me and Monlith do in this fight repetitively, you can rout them pretty accordingly. Which is where the Spartans had the advantage, but like I explained what I thought about all that earlier. So now I'm going to spread out my archers, some out this side, some out this side, so I'm hitting someone from every angle. So he pulls off a unit of his own Spartans here to try and catch Monlith's heavy spearmen. And Monlith's heavy spearmen would likely lose that fight, but he's going to bring in some units to support. But unfortunately for him, I don't think he brought enough. He should have brought all his cataphracts here, because otherwise he won't do enough damage. Although somehow his heavy spearmen were doing a really good job there, holding it out. And here I see one of the urbans come out, support, so I see another opportunity to encircle them. Good charge from these cataphracts, it does do a lot of damage, but as you can see it routes one. So it would have been more useful if he brought the lot in, because he probably could have collected that Spartan. He's forced to pull out, he does lose a lot of men there, but I do see this unit of urbans completely exposed, and I'm going to get a nice charge on it and probably take out about 10 to 15 men from that unit, and I'll just pull out. Again, my units don't pull out easily, but they don't take too many casualties, they do just push straight through. It's kind of annoying when they do that, but that just happens from time to time. So anyway, I'm going to spread my archers round again. And that fight, well, it cost a few of Monlith's cav, it did take a nice chunk of Spartans, and I did get a nice chunk of urbans as well out of it. So he's going to pull back into the box. Over here, the Greek general is fighting against Monlith's men. Monlith has got numbers here though. 5 Spartans versus 15 of these heavy spearmen. And there's a few arrow fire there. Here's this general, let's just catch this fight. Could look pretty good. It's a sweet looking general. Skin. He does die here in a moment. I'm sure he does. You can see he's getting circled. Apparently he's trying to direct his men, he's got knocked down, and he'll get stabbed here, I'm sure. He's one strong general, he's been knocked down, stabbed like 10 times. But anyway, there we go, he gets killed that time. So I will start to move my archers around the flanks a little more. I'm thinning out the Spartan unit here, but I'll start moving them around the flanks so that I can hit like this one, all consecutively. Well, I'm not even going to try and say, I'm getting tongue-tied here. All at the same time, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I'll just triple speed a bit here, guys. As you can see, these Spartans continually reshuffle as they keep losing casualties. At the moment, I'm mass firing on that one unit because it's just so clustered there on its own. But I will, when he does start to move his units around, I will reshape my lines to stop him from doing stop him from shooting the units in the front. Anyway, so I'm moving my guys around, trying to hit more flanks. The Urbans are in Testudo, so they're pretty much fine from archer fire there. But as you can see, I put archers around everywhere. So this is why it was important to keep the archers alive, because if we didn't have enough archers left, we wouldn't have been able to weaken enough of the Spartans, and it would have been too much work for our cataphracts. So that is why it was important to keep those archers safe. So as you can see, we're thinning them out quite nicely, and we're just preparing for the final charge. So I'll just triple again, guys, just a boring bit. Here he spreads off some of his Spartans to chase away his cataphracts. And we thought about turning around and squishing these Spartans with my cataphracts on this side and his cataphracts on that side, but they'd probably do too much damage to our guys to deal with these armoured hoplites, so we didn't risk it. But here he goes after my my archers here, so I'm going to try and pull them back, I think. But it was very tempting. I was hoping that Monlith would actually charge these Urbans. I think he could have got away with that, with them in Testudo like that, before those armoured hoplites could have done much damage. As he tries to pull away from those archers he tried catching, I'm going to get more flank shots in. Again, we thought about squishing these Spartans up here, but we just weren't confident we'd do enough damage. So anyway, the missiles continue to come into the flanks, and just more triple speed here, guys, as he reshapes his line, and I just shift my archers to get angles again. Some over here. I'm regrouping my cavalry, and I've got 2 on each flank here, so it's almost over. So as you can see, the Spartans are mostly getting destroyed by this point in time. There's not really much you can do about it, and we're confident we can destroy the armoured hoplites because they haven't got upgrades going in their favour. So I'm going to move 2 of my cataphracts around here. I've got 2 over here, and Monlith's got 2 there, so that we can just come in and crush them when we're ready. So just triple speeding here while we continue to shoot the backs of their troops, and eventually I think they just decide to go all out at it and charge us. So here comes Monlith going to finish off this last group of Spartans, and he'd probably go for those, maybe he probably could have gone for those Urbans as well. This unit of Spartans pulls out, and I'm not really sure why I didn't just go for those Urbans. I think I could have pulled away from those armoured hoplites pretty quickly if I had. So now they decide to just give it up and chase us. At this stage we just indulge them, and it's pretty much over. Just a little bit, like a minute or so left. So he's just going to chase me around. I'm just going to tire him a bit. Probably just shoot his flanks a little more. And here's these Urbans, and we just see them here, and we're just going to go after them and crush them. And that should be the end of them. Over here, he does have me pinned here, but I'm not too worried. And I rout those 2 units there. And there's just 44 armoured hoplites left. So just clean them out, just like so. And then I'm just going to swamp them from both sides, and that routs that last remaining. Well, armoured hoplites, so it's a clear victory. I had 913 men. I got 1,246 kills and 381 men remaining. Monlith had 1,065 men, 767 kills and 291 men remaining. Robandme 1,124, 1,025 kills and 1,033 deployed for OHJ 493. As you can see, lots of kills for some really big numbers for this cataphract, quite a lot for my archers, horse archers a lot as well, pretty all around the board for my scorecard there, so came out pretty nicely. It didn't have the best cataphractic work, but it still came together quite nicely. So good game to Monlith, Robandme and Ohjk89. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon next time.